I'm Miriam Joy and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be working on the glass snowflake ornament. So let's get started. Now our bulb is a glass ball with Crayola melted inside, and there is a video for that, so check it out. We didn't want to put all of it together so we could keep this a shorter video. So we're going to go ahead and get our template on for our snowflake, and that is done with our mini craft templates, the circle ones, and these are a Miriam Joy product, and you can find them on our website at miriamjoy.com, along with our charcoal pencil and the 3D lacquer, which we're going to be using as well. Now, the first thing we're going to do is, this won't normally write on your glass, so we're going to take our lighter, or if you need to go to the stove or something, and take our flame and warm up our charcoal pencil, and that will help it to write on our glass. Now on my other one I got it just a little bit too low, so we want to make sure that we get it a little bit higher this time, and I want a part that's not quite as pretty as the rest of it, because the other areas will be seen more. We're going to kind of cover this up. Now, let's see if I got that warm enough. I may have to warm that up just a little tad. Unfortunately, because it is so round, we can't set our circle within a circle here. We have to put them on separately. I probably should put the little guy on first and then put the second guy on. The really nice thing about the charcoal pencil is it comes right off. So we're going to see if I can get this on. Don't want to squish it too much here. If you don't have a set of craft templates, every craft room needs one. There's so many things they come in use for. Okay, so we've kind of got an idea of that. Now that we've got our pattern on, I'm going to make my first line from that second one all the way as close as I can get it to the middle. Flip it over and do it again. And I turned it there. Make sure that your glass is not too cold. You remember this is wax, and we don't want it too cold because it will make it harder to apply, and you'll have a really hard time. So we're doing 6, so I did 1 there, and then we're going to do 1 there. And you can draw those lines out with your charcoal pencil if you need to as well. So I'm going to switch, I'm using my number 1 tool. I'm going to switch from the large size down to smaller size, and I'm going to go on each side of these now, right next to them on that inside circle. Stabilize your hand on your ball and pull it. It makes it easier to control your stroke. Slow down. Don't go fast. That helps. And we want to leave space in between those because we're going to add our next stroke in between that. And the glitter white is a lot of fun. That one's going to be a little bit tighter right there to get in. And I'm going to switch it back to the larger end again. And I'm going to remove my charcoal pencil now. And don't we wish all the charcoal pencil was easy as to remove it as is on the glass ball. And I'm going to come in between these and pull it the opposite. I'm just going to pull it till it runs out of wax. And if you do that, then they end up being more consistent in size, and if you try to end them in the same place. And I just am kind of pulling them all in the same area, kind of where that stroke will fit in between those, and I'm going to make it look more like a snowflake. I'm going to switch over to my 0 tool, my smaller end, and we're going to pull those little arms out from the snowflakes. here. And you can see there with the Crayola crayon, we've got to reload it each and every time. I just really love the glass Crayola crayons. I've been meaning to do this for a couple of years, and then people started doing it. And I just have come up with a unique way that's really different from the way other people are doing it because it just didn't work for me. Alright, and the last thing we're going to do is add some dots here. Let's see if we want to switch over to the bigger tool or not. I'm just going to do descending dots here, and then we're taking up more of the bulb. Now, if you want to do a little bit smaller and put one on each side of your ball, that is fine too, as well. Okay, so let's do one right in the middle here. And we're going to get ready and we're going to cover it. Now you want this dry, and of course you know it's only going to take a few seconds to dry. And we're going to want to hang it. I'm going to go ahead and do my bow on it, show you how to do a bow as well. And then put my varnish over the top of it, or my lacquer. So I took a little strand of ribbon, Christmas ribbon. This is silver and white to match with the snowflake, and I took a small piece of ribbon, and we're just going to fold it back and forth just enough to make a bow, just like that. And then we're going to take our tie and we're going to double knot it. And once we get this kind of in here, we want to adjust that towards the top. And I really like adding bows to them. I think it just adds, it makes it classier. And then another one. And then up here you can hot glue gun it together, which I like to do, or you can just knot it. That is up to you. And then trim off your excess. And then you're going to want to move this guy around till you have him positioned right with your bow. You also, if this is really loose, may want to think about E6000 them in place. Now we're going to put on our crystal lacquer, which is a hard finish. It's really nice. Hard coat. It's more protective than a lot of the varnishes, and for your Christmas ornaments I really suggest doing that. Make sure you get it nice and clean, have it all cleaned off, get your fingerprints or anything off that you may not want on it. Now the first thing I did, I do a little bit different than some people, is I wet my brush. Now I dried it so it's just damp, you don't want any water in it. What this does is this keeps your brush nice and soft. You do want an older brush, but one that has fine bristles. You don't want a coarse one because you don't want the strokes to show up on your glass especially. And this helps so that this doesn't have to absorb in, and that you have that nicer finish. Now I'm just going to do it directly onto my bulb here. And I am going to do the whole thing, but with more emphasis towards my design. Now, you don't want it thin enough that you see your brush strokes. If you can see your brush strokes after it starts to dry, you need to add a little bit more of the 3D crystal lacquer. And again, it is a product that we do carry because it is a little bit tougher to find. And I'm going to flip this over now. And you don't probably want to put the bow on until you do this and let it dry. And I would recommend doing a couple of coats, at least 2 to 3 coats. And this is a thicker Yeah, we're just going to get that on nice. You don't want it so thick that it's dripping. You don't want any drips on it. Make sure you've got it all coated well. Do not overwork it because it starts to dry and then you will start to move it around and get into trouble. So we've got that all nice and coated there. So we're simply just going to hang that up now and let that dry. And then you have your beautiful little snowflake ornament. And I think those are just really, really pretty. And if you have any questions or you need any of the products that we showed in the video, please visit my website at miriamjoy.com. Come on over to our Facebook page. We're always doing fun, exciting projects and something new every day at Miriam Joy Gourd Creations. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and God bless.